Deep Dive with David Stendhal, where we trade without ego, no emotion, no greed, and no opinion. Before we begin tonight's video blog, please read over our trading disclaimer and remember to trade smart and accept the reality that trading futures is risky. This presentation does not provide buy-sell recommendations, and our information is strictly provided for educational purposes only. As always, trade at your own risk and analysis. Hey there, it's David Stendhal with tonight's Deep Dive. It is February 4th, 2021. We're going to look at cotton today. The ETF is BALB. The reason we're looking at this market is that it had a big move today, and it looks like there's a potential that we're going to start to break away from this little sideways consolidation based on today's action. It also shows that the trend is to the upside, short, intermediate, and long term. We got the technicals point of the upside, and then we have the seasonals as well. There's also a resistance gap, which means that there's ample opportunity for the market to actually have a continuation to this particular breakout. Now, right now, the systems are long the market, got a nice open position profit, a little over 10,000 bucks there. We've got numerous systems that have triggered with today's action, and then we were actually long before that. We got a small loss here in the short side in coffee, and we've got a meaningful, almost $3,000 profit here in sugar, but cotton is obviously the big one right through here. Now, if we actually take a look at the market itself, you can see this trend to the upside. And you can see over here, this was that breakout. This was the high that was just broken, at least as far as our resistance level, which was at 82.90. So we're actually quite a bit above that. Now we're getting into overbought territory, but as you can see from our energy level, that tells us when we're in a consolidation type period, and there's that consolidation. It still has a lot of room to move here. So no matter what the case is, the fact is that this yellow line represents the trend. Sometimes it dips to the blue area, but you can see that the trend has been so strong that it's remained yellow. There are little dips along the way that are expected, but at least right now, we've got the market moving out above that particular threshold, and it looks quite nice for the longs. Now, when it comes to the weeklies, here's the old breakout that we probably talked about a long time ago. Now we're up against this other threshold, this one right here on weekly bars, which we're essentially at and did break above. Technically, it's at 84.08. So if I stretch that across, you can see that the market did break above that. Our next level, our next target, if you will be 87.60 based on this one right there. So there's ample room for this market to continue. Now there might be a little bit of backfill, specifically on the daily bars, but even if we get that, I don't think it'll be too meaningful. As long as we stay above the breakout that we had here today at 82.90, that's what that is. Now, come back to the website and give some more good news here, specifically for the bulls. This is a 6-day calendar. I'll show you where you can actually find this. This is readily available. You come to charts, seasonal overview, return calendar. It'll then bring you up another menu system for all the different markets. This one's obviously for cotton. Then you've got a 1-day, 2-day, 4-day, and 6-day calendar. And the 6 days basically looking at 6 days worth of information for each of these periods. So it gives you a perspective as to what happens over a 6-day period throughout the entire month. And what I want to point out here, and this might be hard to see, but during the course of February, obviously a shortened month, but 75% of the 6-day periods are profitable. Now, majority of those are going to come later in the month. Then we have sporadic periods, but still good periods here in the early phases. Then there's some backfill and some retracements, but the end of the month typically is quite strong, and then we have a continuation into March as well. And so it just simply gives an idea as to which markets, which months typically do quite well. So that being the case, you can see down through here the positive consecutive days. So in this case, 15 days, you can see right through here, 15 days of consecutive performance. So it's in the latter part of the month. So let's take a look here at the seasonals to get an idea as to what's taken place. Here's cotton on the top 10 list. It's towards the top here, number 2. And then if we actually take a look at cotton, what I want to do is I'm going to show a 5, 10, and 15 simultaneously, because you can see On the 5 years, the blue, that represents just 5 years worth of information. So it's not a great deal of information. You can see that there's a bearish bias up until mid-February. Kind of the phase that we're in right now would be more bearish. On the 10 and the 15 year, you can see there's some chop that will occur, but the big move for whether it's the 5, the 10, or the 15, that all happens in the mid part of the month throughout the rest of the month, and then a portion will be seen into the early stages of next month as well. There's going to be, some little pops along the way, but the strength to the market is certainly there. So with the fact that the market itself broke above this particular threshold that we've been talking about, as long as we stay above that, then the longs that we actually have out there should continue in good light. So for those of you that are looking for a market to trade, cotton is one of those markets that it's feast or famine, and I mean that quite literally. You can have some beautiful trends, which is obviously what's taken place here, and then you can have periods of extended sideways, absolutely no movement whatsoever, and it can be very frustrating. But we do get these trends. You got to take advantage of those trends when they do pop up. So with this breakout to this upside, that generally, well, it means that the market is still trending, and as long as we stay above there, we should be good to go. So watch the systems, see how they actually play out, and we will take a look at another market here very soon. Bye bye.